Okay, our job today, look at our objectives. We are going to be identifying text and graphic features, and we're going to use our strategy, analyze and evaluate. Before we get started though, let's take some time and review our vocabulary words for the week. Tracing, sketches, tools, textures, illustrate, imagine, research, and scribbles. Point to the word, please, that means to draw pictures or something. Evelyn? Illustrate, good. And when I think of the word illustrate, I can remember it by thinking about the illustrator within a book. Point to the word that means things that you would use if you were doing a project. Naomi? Tools, very good. Is there a suffix on the word tools?
S.
The S, what does that tell us?
More than one tool.
More than one tool, good. Point to the word that means to doodle without really caring about what you're drawing. Ricardo? Scribbles, good. Point to the word that means to think of something in your head. Ricardo? Imagine, nice job. And the last one we're going to do, point to the word that means to be looking for more information. To gather more information. You might have to use a computer for this. Angel? Research, nice job. Okay, so I'm wondering, what do we do when we create art?
We use a lot of tools and paint and like the stuff that we can color on paint on big blank pieces of paper.
Okay.
We could do a sketch about it, and we could put it on a big piece of paper and then hang it down.
Okay. What else could we do if we were making art?
We could copy a tower.
Okay. So maybe we would look out and see something and then we could draw it?
Maybe we could, my grandma told me, if we lay a page maybe with something on it and we can lay, a paper on it and you can trace it.
Ooh, just like our word tracing? Good job, good connection. Naomi, what do you think?
We could get some tools and then imagine something, then we could draw it on the piece of paper.
Good, so sometimes, I like how you used the word imagine, sometimes we just imagine something in our head and that's what we want to create. Angel, what were you going to add?
What's the question?
How do we create art? What do you know about art?
What I know about art is don't leave a lot of white spots, illustrate, don't leave a lot of white spots.
Okay, is that something that you learned in art class this year? Good. Now I'm wondering, is art important? Turn and share with your partner. What do you think?
Not that. Art is creating. You can make a book, draw, and you can test. And you can also learn how to if you make a book out of it. If you made a book and it's pictures, you edit it. You could make pictures and people read it and what it can understand. You can learn about it as an artist, but you have to edit so much because you make it maybe how you make a book, because then if you got some kids, and then you make texture,
all you do is draw.
maybe it's just one.
3, 2, and 1. Now, we're going to use a new card this week. Since we're working on our skill evaluate, our strategy evaluate, we're going to use our card, My Opinion Is. So I'm wondering, in your opinion, is art important?
My opinion is yes, because you could have fun and you could train for a lot of days.
No, because...
So let's use our card. My opinion is...
My opinion is no, because all you do is draw.
My opinion is yes, because what if you're making a book and then your book is not good enough because maybe there's scribbles and you can't read it.
Okay.
Which see the picture. It's important
Let's use our
because
card.
my opinion is it's important. It's kind of important because you can learn from like how to draw different kinds of pictures and imagine them, but not that important because it's just drawing, it's fun but not that important, because if it were in the contest, you can just be that painting important. If it wasn't, that would just be a painting.
Okay, so maybe sometimes it is important, sometimes it's not so important maybe. Okay.
In my opinion, it is important because when you grow up, you're gonna have to learn how to write and stuff.
So is writing a form of art then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else we can add to that? All right. What we're going to do now is look at pages 2 and 3 in our book. On these 2 pages, what text features do you see? Go ahead and look at pages 2 and 3.
I see.
Specifically text features. I see a talking chip from Evelyn.
I see is that there's a room right there in page 3, and there's lots of paintings right there, fancy chairs, and there's red ribbons so they won't get dirty. And
So you're noticing the graphic features?
There's a picture caption.
Picture caption. Everybody point to the picture caption that you see. Good. What is the purpose of a picture caption?
It tells you who it tells the artist who.
What's the job of every picture caption you'll ever read?
To tell you what is it about, the artist who paints these supplies and what they're doing.
Okay. So specifically, we know that the job of this picture caption is to tell us that artists use supplies, like the one you can see there, the palette. But what is the job of every picture caption?
To tell us what the page is about.
To tell us what the picture is about. Good. So we have picture captions. What other type of text and graphic
I
features?
see a highlight.
A highlighted word. And why are words highlighted in our books?
Because they're our sight words.
Our vocab words, right? Good. Ricardo, what else can you see?
Because they're words that we're using for a book.
Good. There are words that we're using in our book, our vocabulary
I see a
words.
heading.
A heading. What is the purpose of a heading?
To tell you what the book's going to be about.
These pages are
What the page will be about, right? What is the text feature that tells us what the whole book will be about?
the title.
The title. Remember we say title, topic, main idea, heading. Good job. Okay, so now you're going to take some time and go on a picture walk, but this is a special kind of picture walk because it's a nonfiction story. So remember a few weeks ago when we worked on this, and I said you can go on a picture walk for a nonfiction story and use the text and graphic features that you see in the book. So if I were doing a picture walk for pages 2 and 3, I might say, okay, I notice that the heading says, what is an artist? So I think that these words in here will tell me what an artist is, maybe what an artist's job is. I see a highlighted word, illustrate. So I know that I'm maybe going to learn about an illustrator. I see some picture captions here. This picture caption is telling me about supplies that an artist might use. This picture caption is telling me and showing me a museum wall that has different types of art on it. So do you see how as I'm explaining what I see on these pages, I'm also saying the text features that I'm using and the graphic features? Mm-hmm. Do you have questions about your picture walk? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you and your partner will do this together. You will explain 2 pages, you'll turn the page, and then it's your partner's turn. Okay? So you'll start on pages 4 and 5, and you may begin.
I can see a maybe research and what I see.
Don't forget to say the name of the text features.
That was an artist and it's design.
And what's that text feature called?
Artist.
A heading.
Look, and I see on that heading that the costume designer that I can see on this page that so it's right now, I see the one with research
And what text features do you
I
see?
see the researcher and design highlighted which is research and sketches. I think and then I see a sketch and a picture shows you how they're going to draw a sketch and then they're going to paint it. And the picture caption is about somebody that drew a costume designer.
Architect, nice job.
I from the actor from a movie. And then I see
So just from that, what do you predict that both of these pages will be about?
These like drawing something like these special tools and gown.
Okay.
They'll like they have little guides right here and maybe they'll copy drawing and little guides and they're going to draw what they're doing. They're drawing a sketch and then they build it. What I see is like in Christmas it says display artist because display artist is like this picture is showing us like
Which outfit we have are
they are showing us what is happening in that race.
very good. What does that last chunk of your work say?
Building tools that
Flip the center of your
sometimes they can
seat, make it a
use
hard C.
tools or making a building.
A hard C. Good, Abby.
It's a middle. Okay,
make it a hard C. Abby, if we make that a hard C, what do we have?
In this picture caption it says
Art
and display.
Very close. Architect. That's a tricky word, isn't it? Good. So what does that tell you that the whole section will be about?
That's telling me everything art is also painting too. And then we just have to build a new building display, please. Imagine maybe first the display artist must need some.
If you have a picture, what is this text feature going to be called? It's describing the picture.
Imagine what the store or the window or the place is going to look like. And then
I don't think that this is your heading. Good try, though.
They have together their identity.
What's that text feature called that describes what's happening in a picture?
Into the car, into these people.
Picture caption.
Windows. So I see that's also for like movies. Caption. So and then right here, like someone painted a kid's face and like design it for that. You could see on this page that using some slides I can see it's and it says display artist. And then I see to create his face. Highlighted world.
So what other type of text features do you see on these pages?
And tracking all the papers that are here.
What is that called, Krista? A picture caption. Naomi, what's the purpose of this picture caption? What's it there for?
And then I see another picture caption and highlighted
Very good job.
Imagine and they can use a thing and his face and read a book about face.
Good connection.
Here I say highlighted it's on the real.
Okay, let's go back to our cover, please, in 3, 2, and 1. So now that you've gone on your text feature picture walk, I want you to turn and share with your partner, and you're going to start with I predict. And make a prediction. What do you think we will learn about 3 or more things in this story?
I predict what's gonna happen. I predict that they're gonna tell us about there's gonna be about nice pages and there's gonna be famous people. And then second thing is about the photos about different kinds of things and then become alive.
And then there's
Become
gonna be
alive,
like
buildings,
and
there's different kinds of paintings,
and
number like they can paint.
I predict
the numbers
one more starting right there, and then
what's
the
and
and
they're going to
So what do you think
about
to
being
learn
one of the artists and how they make and like applying it into the artists. Says maybe feel real pictures that
next is what learn about
pictures that
is like gonna like we're gonna do like a little building people, but made out of cardboard and make big building, a real one.
some people who will real and predict that they'll go beginning the one like it's gonna tell us and I think it'll tell us about the artists to like artists and how they talk about famous people and that artists are all around us. Great and in the middle it's gonna nice to draw like just part of it and they're gonna design and I like and we're gonna and they're gonna like they're gonna have to design like costumes
3, 2, and 1. Very nice. I heard some great predictions. Naomi, what do you predict you'll learn about in this book?
What I predict that I will learn about is that famous people making some pictures of other famous people and they're going to like put it on the wall and then it's going to be art.
Okay, and so then maybe they'll describe some of that art.
I wonder if they're gonna teach us in the beginning that that artists are all around us, and in the next page, and then in the middle, if they're gonna tell us tell us about architects and what it means, and in the end, they're gonna tell us what we've learned, and we're gonna learn one more thing, and that we're probably gonna learn that you can also be an artist.
Okay, nice job. So I'm wondering now, what is your purpose for reading? When we read the story, what is one thing you want to learn? So my purpose is?
My purpose is to get our
Well, what are you wanting to learn specifically from this story?
What I want to learn in this story is how they make real pictures and how they make it to life.
Oh, yeah, very good. Good, I see a me too.
I want to learn if art is important.
Okay.
I want to learn all kinds of stuff about it, but I could be doing the same thing as they're doing.
Very good. So now we have a purpose for reading. Turn to pages 2 and 3, please. We've talked about the text features that we see on these 2 pages, but I want you to read both of these pages and find out what is an artist.
What is an artist? You know what
Three, 2, and 1. Nice job. Turn to your partner, please, and explain to them what is an artist's job.
An artist's job is to paint and
the book tells me is that what they want to do. An illustrator is an artist, and that a person that isn't an illustrator is a person who paints, and even an illustrator can be an artist. is an artist. It's the one that paints the pictures. It's the one that paints the pictures. That paints the pictures. But there's more artists. Like there could be more illustrators.
Dr. Seuss, like he made the book.
A person.
Was he?
An artist is a person who paints.
No, yeah.
Well, specifically, just from this page, what did you learn about an artist?
An artist paints like pictures for a book. It's an artist.
Like they paint like pictures, like
An artist.
like pictures.
And maybe that could allow them to illustrate a book?
An artist.
Nice job. 3, 2, and 1. What is an artist's job?
An artist's job is like to make lots of paintings and show it like in books and maybe in walls and hallways. In this picture it says paintings cover this whole museum.
Very nice job. Let's use our card I would like to add.
I would like to add to Ellen, paint illustrators. They like paint a lot of different pictures.
Okay, and so are illustrators considered artists? Good.
I would like to add is that a person who paints is an artist. So if a person that makes a book and they draw the pictures, that they're an artist because then they're painting them for us.
So could artists do other things beside painting?
Yeah.
Like what, Ricardo? What do you think?
Like they could make like they look like if it could pop off the book.
Okay,
They can also like make stuff out of clay.
good.
They could also be the illustrator.
Okay, so an illustrator of a book or a story could be an artist as well. Naomi, what were you going to add?
That they could also like maybe take a picture of something that copy it.
Okay, so I'm wondering if you look at the text and graphic features on this page, on page 2, in your opinion, so we're using my opinion is, were these text and graphic features helpful? I want you to evaluate this. Were they helpful for you in understanding this page or not so much, and why? Share with your partner.
My opinion is
Let's hear our card. My opinion is
that they're helpful because they tell us what's happening in the story. This picture caption is telling us about paintings covers this museum wall, and this picture caption says artist who paints. Yeah, it only because the telling us that artists can be and they can illustrate and
3, 2, and 1. Were these text and graphic features helpful for you?
Yes, because
Use my card.
my opinion is yes, because it told us what an artist is.
Okay.
Yes, these pictures are. My opinion is that these pictures are helpful because these picture caption is telling us what's on these pages,
Good.
and then the heading is telling us what are these pictures about, and the highlighted word is telling about like illustrators and all.
Excellent job. I like how you gave examples of those text features. So I'm wondering, did we do our job today and did we identify text and graphic features?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. What's the type of text feature that we identified today?
What is an artist? No.
Yeah, and what is the name of that text feature?
Heading.
A heading. We talked about headings. What else?
Highlighted words.
Highlighted words, picture captions. Nice job. And then did we take time and analyze and evaluate today?
Yes.
We did. We talked about whether or not these text features were helpful for us. Very nice job. Do you have questions from today?
No.
All right. Okay. Our job today, we are going to be identifying text and graphic features, and we're going to be using our strategy, analyze and evaluate. So we'll be talking about our text and graphic features, and we're going to be deciding, are these helpful for us, or could they have been changed, and could they have said something different? Do you have questions about our job?
During Sims, will you call for us?
Okay, yep, we'll still have our simultaneity too. Okay?
No, like when you like call groups, will we still do?
Yes. Okay. So let's review our words. Tracing,
Tracing,
illustrate,
illustrate,
sketches,
sketches,
tools,
tools,
scribbles,
scribbles,
imagine,
imagine,
research,
research,
textures.
textures.
Point to the word for me, please. That means to draw something without really thinking and to do it very quickly. Crystal? Scribbles, good. Point to the word that means the way something might feel or look. Abby?
Textures.
Good. Point to the word that means to copy over top of something that's already been drawn. Close. Angel? Good. Point to the word that means to think of an idea. Evelyn?
Imagine.
Good job. Okay, point to a word that is plural. Ricardo? How do you know that's plural?
Because we have S
Okay, and what does that mean for us?
that there's more than one sketch.
More than one. Nice job. Scribbles, good. So we have tools, sketches, scribbles, and textures this week. Nice job. Okay, pockets in our seat, please. All right. Open up to pages 2 and 3. On pages 2 and 3 yesterday, we were reading about what an artist is. I want you to turn to your shoulder partner, please, and share 2 things that you learned from yesterday.
What I learned on these 2 pages is that the people who
Two and three yesterday.
are the
That's okay.
illustrators, are the artists and illustrators and the
I want you to remind your partner about 2 things that you
and a
learned
person
from
who
reading
illustrates is
yesterday.
also an artist. But did you know all the kinds of, I know that not only people, famous people are illustrators, like the one that made this book, they're not the only ones that are famous.
3, 2, and 1. What is something that we learned yesterday?
What I learned yesterday is that that illustrators are also artists, and that illustrators and the authors, they don't both have to be. We could be authors too.
Very nice. I see a me too.
I learned that you know that if a person who paints is an artist, and I learned that if I paint, I am an artist.
Good.
I learned that the artists all around you.
Okay, nice job. Let's turn our pages now. Let's look at pages 4 and 5. On these 2 pages, what will our main idea be?
Costume.
Costume designer. How do you know that, Abby?
Because I looked at the heading.
The heading. And what is the purpose of a heading?
To tell you what the stories in the page, to tell you what the page is going to be about.
Very good. So what I want you to do then is I want you to read this page, and I want you to be able to tell me what is the job of a costume designer. There you go, good job.
That the costume or that way that for the time and the be sure that after the designer makes stitches and draws and makes the costume sketches the act designer it costs think about it costume designer. David Ross was a paper movie, wrote the episodes, wrote
Keep reading the sentence till you get to
the
the end.
costume would raise the costume and the future or would say very close
So let's go back to it. Did that word make sense in there?
designed or
No, so what could we try to get that word to be? Then people.
is called a costume designer.
So if we look up here, we know that they're making sketches of the costume and they're drawing the costume. So the next step would be to take the sketch and to do what with it if you're trying to make it. What would you have to do with the cloth? So they're going to take all the materials now and put it together and make the costume. So what would that step be? Then the So if they're using, look up here, they're using materials. If they're using the materials with the cloth and they're having to put the cloth together, they're having to use maybe a needle and some thread, what would they be doing? Say it one more time. Not swinging, but if you have a needle and you have thread and you're maybe making something with it, what are you doing?
It's called
like our clothes. Think of our clothes. How do they put that together?
And after those, and they play with
What was the word you just said? So if you're making clothes, what do you have to do to make the clothes? We're using our context clues. We're talking about everything else that's happening here. So then people, we know it doesn't say stew because that doesn't make sense there. So then people, they flip those letters. What else am I saying? I heard you say it. Then people say it one more time. Then people sew the costume. You got it. Good job. 3, 2, and 1. Turn to your shoulder partner, please, and I want you to describe what is the job of a costume designer.
The job of a costume designer is to create a costume or artist to wear a scene or
when the costume designer's job is that they have to first, they always have to do research to find the time is to make sure that the costume is right in time or placement for the movie.
3, 2, and 1. What is the job of a costume designer?
The job is first they have to research, then they have to draw it, and once like if it looks good, exactly like when they research, they have to draw it for like a play or a movie.
Okay, so what might cause a costume designer to want to research a costume?
Because maybe they had to see what kind of parts they need for the costume if they don't research on the computer. And maybe learn about the stuff that they need to put on the costume. Maybe they might forget, and maybe it might get ruined.
Very good. Let's use a card here.
I would like to add to evidence is that when the costume designers had to make sure for the right and the time, place for the movie.
Yeah, so they are also having to think about the setting of a movie. We talk a lot about setting of stories and the setting of the books they read. Very good.
I think it means, I would like to add to Crystal is, I think their job is maybe to design the dress or whatever they're going to wear
for the scene or movie.
Okay, very nice job. So if you look at the text features on this page, what type of text features do we see? We've talked about the heading. What else is there?
A picture caption.
Picture caption and highlighted words. I want you to share with your shoulder partner, do you agree or do you disagree that the text features on this page were helpful for you, and why?
The sketch to draw the sketch. Yes, it is. They help me. My opinion is that
Good, Crystal.
it is a good because the addicted they could do research and find out.
3, 2, and 1. Let's share some of our opinions.
The picture caption.
So can I hear you use our card?
My opinion is the picture caption is helpful because I didn't know when first they had to draw it, then the actors had to wear it in the movie.
Okay.
My opinion is that they are helpful because they're telling us about that first they had to do a research and then they had to do a sketch of the costume and they draw us a little picture of the sketch and then they show us how it looked in the movie.
Nice job. Let's go to pages 6 and 7. On these 2 pages, we know that our main idea from the heading is going to be about architects. So I want you to read and decide. Do you agree with the author or do you disagree that if you are an architect, it is a type of art? Okay, go ahead and share. And 1. Turn to your partner, please, and explain the job of an architect.
The job of an architect is to plan a building, house, or store, and plan how it's going to be a house or a store, and what their ideas was.
An architect is somebody that practices is working on paper. My opinion is that it's to make architect.
3, 2, and 1. So our purpose for reading these pages was to decide, do we agree or do we disagree that architecture is a form of art? What's your opinion?
Because they have to plan. Will it be big? Will it be a store? Will it be a house or small?
Okay.
My opinion is yes, because it says on one of these words, an architect architect is also a kind of artist because you have to build a model first and then build it.
I really like how you proved your answer in the text.
My opinion is that it is an artist because first you have to figure it out what it's going to be, and then you have to build it.
Very good. The last thing we're going to talk about today, I want you to look at all the text features you see on these 2 pages, and I want you to decide which one is the most important and why. So just looking at those pages right now, I want you to be thinking, which is the most important? Which one's the most helpful to you, and why? Okay. I have some ideas, I can tell. What would you say? What was the most helpful for you?
Most helpful was architect because it told me what it's going to be about.
Okay, what's the name of that text feature?
Heading.
The heading. I see some twos.
Something that helped me in the book is the picture caption. The picture caption because it tells me what the story is going to be about. Like it says it here in the picture, like here, architects build a model of a building and then build it.
And so that gives you clues of what their job is. Very nice job. Boys and girls, did we do our job today? Did we identify text and graphic features?
Yes.
Yeah. And what what text features did we talk about today? Architect, and that's a type of
Costume designer.
what type of text feature is this?
A heading.
It's a heading. Good. We talked about the graphic feature. I heard you say over here.
Costume designer.
Another heading. Good.
And yesterday we did what is an artist.
Good. So another type of heading. Very nice job. And did we analyze and evaluate today as we were discussing?
Yes.
Yes, we did. Thank you very much. Great job today. Today we are going to be identifying text and graphic features, and we're going to be using the strategy analyze and evaluate. Before we get started, let's review our vocabulary words. Illustrate.
Illustrate.
Sketches.
Sketches.
Tools.
Tools.
Imagine.
Imagine.
Scribbles.
Scribbles.
Tracing.
Tracing.
Textures.
Textures.
Research.
Research.
Point to the word, please. That means to get more information about a topic. Crystal?
Research.
Thank you. Point to the word that means to draw something as a rough draft. Evelyn?
Sketches.
Sketches, good. Point to a word that has a suffix. Ricardo, what's your word?
Painting.
What's the suffix on that word? ing, good. What is your word, Evelyn?
Textures.
And what is your suffix?
S.
Good. Crystal, what is your word?
Sketches.
And what's your suffix?
S.
Good job. All right, pockets in our seat, please. Let's take a look at pages 6 and 7 where we left off. And when we had left off, we were talking about architects, and we were deciding if we thought architects were artists. Let's review some of that. In your opinion, is an architect an artist?
No, because architect is kind of an artist because they make a model of a building, and then the builders make the pieces that they want to do. It's an artist. Yes.
So let's use one of our cards.
My opinion is yes, because it's talking, if we look on the title page, artists all around you, so I'm thinking maybe architects is a type of artist.
Okay.
My opinion is yes, because it says an architect is also a kind of artist, because it makes like a model of the building and then build it.
Okay,
And
good.
then I respectfully disagree with Ricardo, because an architect is an artist because we had to build it like a sketch, and then we can like paint it up, and then we could draw it all right.
Okay, so there's more steps that go into architecture than just building the building. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Good. Let's turn our pages and look at pages 8 and 9. On these 2 pages, I want you to read and find out what is the job of a display artist.
The person who made the windows, the first know how at the story because display artists can the artist has to know building house as well since most window displays have to be built like a split on the house. Display artists and also look at someone started to build display artist first imagine what a store window would look like and the artist made sketches of this like and the artist must imagine a together or item display other store window as it sketches of her today is smile. It makes them want to go into the store and gather all the display artists and decoration is called a display artist. A display artist has to be sure that someone walking by will stop and look
I like how I could tell you are rereading that part and you were monitoring your reading. Nice job. Three, two, and one. Turn to your partner, please, and share with them what is the job of a display artist.
A display
Angel,
artist is the job is like they have to like make pictures and then like stick
and they're sketching. What are they making sketches of?
They're making sketches like how they're going to build
a person is an artist is
Are they building the whole building? Yeah, very good. And then they have their sketch and what's their next step?
First they have to make a sketch about the display, like how did they want it or what they want it to look like,
and then
what kind of time to do it, like Halloween, or Christmas, or Easter. And then when you're done, you have to do like build it up like leaves and a car and presents and people and like going into a house.
So they're painting it and they're starting to bring all of it together, right? Okay, and then once they bring it together and they put it into the window, what do they do? Three, two, and one. What is the job of a display artist?
Display artist is to make people go into the store. First, a display artist must imagine what a store window would look like.
Okay.
And then they have to put details and they paint it look like a little bit more details, and then they gather all the items they need to put your creation together.
Very good.
I agree with Ricardo because and display artist's job is to make people come up and say, ooh, this window's nice.
Yeah, very good job. So I'm wondering, how can you conclude if a display artist has done a good job? What would you have to do?
You have to first you have to, if you want it to be good, first you have to make a sketch of it, and then you could decorate it, and then when people come over to see it, you know if they like it because they would be staring at it and smiling.
Yeah, so maybe you could, when I see what Crystal explained, I can see someone standing looking into a big store window and standing and smiling and looking at it. What else might happen that would let you know that someone really liked that display art?
Probably they might be looking at it and they might be looking at the price and they might say, I want this window.
Okay.
What people will say like to their families that are next to them, like I want this, and like if they wanna and like they wanna see how cool it is outside, maybe like let's snow right here, and like if you decorate it more, you'll get fans here.
Okay. I want you to make a connection. When have you seen display work in our town, or maybe you went to a different town and you saw an example of a display artist's work? Share with your partner and share your connection.
I went to a church and they had like these colorful windows and they like I saw them and they had like just like colors, and if you look at that,
like
jewelry,
a lot of different stuff like that.
Was it right in the window as you walked by? It was on display that way? Very good connection. You could share that too. 3, 2, and 1. When was the time when you have seen display art?
When I went to a museum, I saw like a lot of dinosaur bones, and like it was right in the front.
It was in the front. So if you were on the road and you were walking past that museum, would you have seen that in the window?
Mm-hmm.
Right out front? Okay.
I made a display before in my mom's work. I decorated the windows.
Very nice example.
I saw a display at a museum like where that zoo is. I went in there and I saw a display of building Legos, like different kinds of the creations, like they put them together and made a creation about the Legos in the museum.
Nice connection. Okay, look at our text features on pages 8 and 9. What text features do we see here?
The text features we see the picture caption.
Okay, so let's all point to the picture caption. Ricardo, what's the purpose of a picture caption?
Sure. The picture caption tells you what the picture is trying to tell you.
Very good. What other text features do you see? A heading. What's the purpose of the heading? Good. So remember, our heading tells us the topic or the main idea for our pages. Do we see any other text features? Evelyn, what do the highlighted words tell us?
About our vocabulary words that say that
Good. The words that we're focusing on for the week. Okay, so as we're looking at our text features here, in your opinion, what is the most important text feature on this page? The most helpful text feature, and why? Share with your partner.
the picture
Display artist because it's
So what's the name of that?
the picture caption.
What's the name of that type of text feature? Okay, so the heading is important to you. Why?
And the story.
The heading because it tells me that the whole page is going to be about.
Good. How do you know when a new main idea will be a story?
So if it's right here and then
The things that
like these ones, and then you keep going to here, and then another heading
Good job. 3, 2, and 1. In your opinions, what is the most helpful or the most important text feature on our 2 pages?
the heading because it tells us what the page is talking about.
Okay, so let's see if either I agree with or I respectfully disagree.
I agree with Angel because it's important to me because it's telling you it's all gonna be about like it's gonna be about this artist. And I agree with Angel because the picture caption can tell us like what the next step like this and that's what the about the story on each page. I agree with everyone. The picture captions are helpful because these picture captions tell us what this picture is about and these picture captions tell us what this one's about.
Very good. You may all take your chips back now. I have one last question for you today. How could we compare a display artist and an architect? How are they similar and how are they different? I want you to share with your partner.
They're the same. An artist architect and the display artist are the same.
Comparing an architect and a display artist.
And the architect is a display artist. Like they have to have plans, like do imagination, cardboard, and then to make plans that big, but they like straight and house, and like an architect build them all.
Okay. And how's that the same as a display artist?
Because a display artist
An architect, I think
it's kind of do the same thing because first they have to sketch and then like they have to put like start to make a plan and then like you have to
they have
place in the
they
window.
have to have
Okay. How are they different?
The architect they have to like
these people like build like
cardboard and then like display architect they have to make plans, they have to sketch.
Three, two, and one. How are architects and display artists the same?
Because they both because people admire their stuff.
Okay, so people admire their work.
Medical because some people might want to look at the building because they might not look at it.
Okay, and how is that the same as the work of a display artist?
Some people look and they say, wow.
Okay, so you're agreeing that people would admire their work in both professions?
I would like to add is that how they're the same is that first they both have to draw sketch and then they have to build it.
Okay.
I think they're the same and I agree because like they both build a model, like they build a little model and then like they build a big model and they build that an architect builds a little model like this and then they make it bigger.
Very good. And when Angel and I were talking, he was saying that they both have to make a plan before they start working. Would you agree with that?
And
They have to imagine before. Very good. So how is their job different then?
How the job is different is because an architect they have to build it with cardboard and then they have to like first they have to really do a store or the house will be big and will be small.
Okay.
And a display artist they have to sketch and then they sketch and then like they have to put it into the window.
Okay. So a display artist, when they finish their work, it's in a window, it's on display. But then for an architect, when their work is finished, where would you find it?
Outside because built big buildings built outside and they'll the display artist built inside.
But Miss Cass, they might build an architect might build it and then put windows in it. Then
Good. And so then when they put their windows in, could a display artist come in and then decorate what's in their window? Very good thinking. And then put things on display within the building. Very good example. Okay, I'm wondering, did we do our job today and talk about text and graphic features?
Yes.
Yeah, and did we decide if they were helpful to us today?
Yes.
What was the text feature that we all decided on was the most helpful today?
Heading?
The heading, why?
Because it tells you what the two pictures are going to be about.
Yes.
Picture caption too because it tells us like what things are going to do and what they are doing in these two paragraphs.
Very good, thank you. Very nice job today. I will take your books. Our job today, we are going to be identifying text and graphic features, and we're going to be using our strategy, analyze, and evaluate. So again today, we're going to be talking about text and graphic features and deciding if they're helpful or not. Okay? Let's review our words. Research.
Research.
Illustrate.
Illustrate.
Sketches.
Sketches.
Tools.
Tools.
Imagine.
Imagine.
Scribbles.
Scribbles.
Textures.
Textures.
Tracing.
Tracing.
Today we're really going to be focusing on our two words, tracing and textures. I want you to turn to your partner and explain a time when you use tracing as part of your artwork.
Once I
Angels?
took a stencil and
And our
I
over
traced
there
it.
See the pencil line?
I traced over there an R.
So just the time when you used tracing.
Like when I was in art and we made a bookmark and we had to chase
Remember we did those shapes and we had to chase them with the
Okay.
bunker?
3, 2, and 1. When was the time when you used tracing?
When I used tracing was in art because we're making bookmarks and we and after when we were done we could see the pencil line, so we had to get a black marker and trace over them.
Very good.
In art, what was the question?
When was the time when you used tracing?
The time when I was using tracing is at school because at school we usually trace like in our classroom sometimes like in art I can trace over to copy another thing to make another copy of that picture.
Okay.
I was tracing in art when I was tracing in art, we were tracing our hands to make like a lady.
Okay.
I want tracing my future star because I'm not that good start.
So you're practicing?
Once I went in with my nephew to Garfield because he had like to go outside day. So I went with him and we were just tracing each other with chalk.
Okay, nice example. If we look at pages 8 and 9, we left off here yesterday, and what were we discussing? What was our main
Our
idea?
main idea was a display artist.
And what told you the main idea?
The heading.
The heading, nice job. What is the job of a display artist?
The display artist draw these to imagine what a stone will look like, and then I just make sketches of this picture. And
So,
then they gather.
Ricardo, if you put it in your own words, what's a display artist's job?
Display artist is a person who makes a window, and when they put some people, not real people, and they gather Christmas stuff or
A display artist is someone who makes windows and try to make them look good, so people can stop by and say, "This is a nice window. I wonder who made it."
I agree with Ricardo, and I would like to add is that people like holiday stuff, and then for people when people are walking by the window store say, "Oh, I want to go into that store."
So do display artists actually make the windows?
They don't. They just make the inside windows.
Good, so they make the display, they make whatever's inside those windows. That's their job, right? Good. Let's turn to pages 10 and 11. What will our main idea be on these 2 pages?
Face painter.
Okay, Evelyn, what tells us our main idea?
The heading.
Good. What other text features do we see?
I see the highlighted word.
Okay, which is which word?
Texture.
Texture.
Say picture caption.
Okay, and Ricardo, what's the purpose of a picture caption? Very good. And so if we look at that picture caption, what is the purpose of this graphic feature or this picture here? Why do you think the author decided to include this graphic feature?
Always because when you paint the face, you use all kinds of supplies, but the mostly use these to make the line.
Yeah, so we know that these paintbrushes are a type of tools that face painters use. Good job. I want you to read page 10, please, and I want you to find out what do face painters have to do before they actually begin painting. I like how you started with the heading. Good job.
So far, the main things that most kids will only like convert the most that most kids are that kids like you.
Wait, one more time.
That most kids will only look at.
Good job.
Artists who paint kids on people's skin and face painting began by making it when they think about about shapes. Then they start to paint the place flowers or flowers or butterflies. Some face painters use glitter to create different pictures. Others start to make people look like dogs, cats, or monsters. Face painters use to meditate or think about something like other things. Some face painters artists use masks, make paintings, clouds, motorcades, or some artists make art that like symbols. Have you ever been to a fair where kids look like dogs, cats, or even monsters? Face painters use many artists.
3, 2, and 1. Abby, can you read that last sentence for us one more time? I thought you did a great job with expression.
This one?
The very last sentence here.
Right here?
Yep.
Other face painters can make people look like dogs, cats, or even monsters.
Good job. Can I hear everyone read that last sentence with expression?
Other face painters can make people look like cats, or even monsters.
Nice job. So what do face painters have to do before they can begin
They have to
painting?
make a plan like an architect before they make
Good.
the face painting thingy and like the pages that we read on page 9
On page 9.
and 8, before they have to imagine and then make a plan before they make the money of what they're going to do.
Good. I like how you're noticing that every type of artist so far has had to make a plan first. Do you agree? So once they have a plan, what do they do after that?
Once they have a plan, they have to they make it, they build it.
And what are they making or building?
They think about what colors, shapes, or probably even sizes.
Okay.
So is it a store on page 6? 7. They have to think what it is. First, an architect needs to know what a building will be used for. Will it be used for a store, a house, will it be big, or will it be small?
Good. And so specifically on page 10, Angel, what are they doing after they have a plan?
After they have a plan, they paint their faces.
Okay, so then they're moving on to painting their faces. And I agree with what Abby said. They also need to know what colors are they going to use? What shapes are they going to put on their faces? Turn to your partner and share a time when either you had your face painted or maybe you saw a friend who had their face painted. What was it like?
When I went to school,
When I went to
Victor House, they had a lot of fun stuff, and I needed to take up for them to my face.
Okay, good. What did it feel like when they were painting your face?
When they were
Yeah?
good.
What tools did they use?
What I saw is like a big book with lots of decorations.
3, 2, and 1. What does it feel like when someone's painting your face?
It feels like it's funny because it tickles a little bit of that brush, but first they make pictures friends to look in which painting you want to use.
Okay, so if you have to choose your painting and then the artist looks at that, could that be part of them making a plan? Good. Krista?
I agree with everything. Now I'd like to add that first they show you a little book and they show you all kinds of different paintings and you pick one and then when they paint your face it kind of tickles and it kind of feels sticky.
Okay.
I would like to add to Crystal, I agree with Crystal. It feels itchy.
Okay, so it might feel itchy to you.
I agree with Crystal because when I was meeting my brother, he painted my face and it tickled me.
Okay, so it tickles too. Good. I want you to compare the tools that face painters use to some of the tools that you use in art class. How are they the same and how are they different?
We both use paintbrushes the same. It's that we always use
brushes and how it's different. First they had to use they have to think about it, and then you draw. But in our class, they just show us and we just do
These paintbrushes.
Okay. Do you ever use any other types of tools in art class?
In our class, we use paint.
Okay. And any other, do you use pencils at all? Good. So in our class you might be using some other types of tools too. Would a face painter use pencils or markers? How?
Because first they have to draw it, and then they have to learn like
So if it's part of their plan maybe? Good. 3, 2, and 1. How are the tools that you use in art class the same and different from the tools that face painters use?
How they're the same and different. How they're the same is because on face painting we have to use our paintbrushes to paint something.
Okay.
And then and like art class we have to use paintbrushes like if you want to paint the pictures.
Okay.
And how the different is that like when we paint our face we use those kind of skinny ones to draw the lines. And when we go to art class we have to use those little chubby ones because for those they make it like a little bit more bigger.
Okay, good.
But they like the same thing that we use, like the same thing that face painters use as art classes. They use paint and sometimes pencil, like when they're not sharpened, they can use it as the making dots.
Ooh,
Different
good
kinds
idea.
of sizes or different kinds of color.
Yeah, good thinking.
In art class, we both use paintbrushes, but we also use markers in art, and we don't use markers in face painting.
Okay. Ricardo, do you want to add to that?
I would like to add to that thing is that maybe the painter, face painter, will probably use washable paint, and in art, we probably use washable paint.
Okay, good. So maybe different types of paints are used as well. Very good thinking. Now look at the heading, face painter. Do you agree or disagree that the heading does a good job of telling us everything that we're going to learn about on this page? What would you say?
Yes.
So I agree or I disagree because?
Because tell you all of this story what they're going to be about and what's going to tell us.
Okay.
My opinion is that they are good helping us because the face painter is telling us what these two pages are going to be about.
Good.
And the highlighter words is going to tell us what the words are going about and the picture captures about the pictures.
Very good job. And if we look just at the heading here, I want you to pretend like you are the author. What would you change the heading to say? What could we change this heading? Now we still need to capture the main idea, but what could the heading say?
The heading could say to learn about face painters.
Okay, so learning about face painting.
How to paint your faces.
How to paint a face. Any other ideas?
Face.
What I want to say sketches.
No,
Why?
because sketches means like a plan.
Okay, does that capture my main idea?
No.
No, it doesn't. Very good job. All right. Did we do our job today? And did we talk about text and graphic features?
Yes.
Yes, we did. Very nice job today. Our job today, we are going to be identifying text and graphic features. We're going to be analyzing and evaluating our text and graphic features. Okay, so when we left off, we were looking at face painting on page 10. What did we learn about face painters? What is their job? Turn and share with your partner, please.
Their
Abby, we'll do that first.
their job face painters is to like first they have to make then
Okay, and how do they do that?
They take like brushes and they'll look it up on their phone to see how they did that. They had to look it up as a cheetah because sometimes they did these as a cheetah.
Good, so is that part of their plan before they can actually start painting your face? Good. 3, 2, and 1. What is the job of a face painter?
job of a face painter, they have to first like draw on a piece of paper, then like they have to make it like on someone's face.
Okay.
Paint it.
So they have to make their plan, and then they start to paint someone's face. Can anyone else add to that?
I would like to add is that their job is to paint people's face, and how they do that is they might look it up on their phone, and they might see how they do it.
Okay, very good. So very quickly, before we begin, let's take a look at our vocabulary words and let's review them. Research, illustrate, sketches, tools, imagine, scribbles, textures, tracing. Okay, we're going to do a quick activity where you are going to do a rally robin back and forth with your partner, and each time you're going to use one of these words in a sentence. So for example, if I'm partners with Abby, I might say, one time I had to research about my favorite animal. And then Abby takes a turn and she says the sentence and she's going to choose a different word. And we're going to go back and forth and use these words in sentences. Do you have questions? Okay, ready? Begin.
I used
One time
One time I was the author of a story, but then I also made the picture, so I was also able to illustrate my story.
Search one time I used tools and my help.
Very good. One time, one of my teachers made a really cool drawing, and so I traced it so I could practice making it.
I sketched like a horse.
Very good. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Okay, today our job, if you look at pages 12 and 13, we are going to read 12, 13, and 14. And when we read, I want you to be reading to find out what is a muralist's job.
I've never seen a big picture on the side of a building, or maybe on the wall.
Yep, and you're going to find out more about it.
That kind of picture is called a mural, and an artist painted a person who created a mural is called
Good, Evelyn. A mural.
a muralist. And an artist painted murals.
Good. Yep.
Can draw over the project and nothing in the same way and illustrate to make a copy of a picture using tracing paper. The final step is filling in the sketch with paint. A muralist might use a project like this to shine a mural onto the wall. The mural made a sketch behind the built into like the entrance starting artists can be anywhere and play and everywhere and look. Artists work to out for a
Have you ever seen a big project somewhere, maybe on a wall?
Have you ever seen a bookstore inside of a building, maybe on a wall to that kind of picture? Artists who made and artists who made it. Artists painted a person who created a person art is called a muralist or mural. Artists around us look like the artist made this light projector to show the wall that is then the muralist can draw over the paintings and the same way.
sketches on
And then the student might make a copy
Did you read the last page too? Three, two, and one. Turn to your partner, please, and share with them what is a muralist. What does that mean?
A muralist is someone who paints a wall, like in a school or in a hospital.
Okay. So is it a small painting or a really big painting?
Okay.
Very good.
A muralist is like a person who like paints on a wall, like in a hospital,
Because if we look
on
the picture, there's like
we're now
there's like a big painting
because there are
and
already around
it
us.
smells like kids going around it.
Good, Abby. 3, 2, and 1. What is the job of a muralist?
Well, job of the muralist is to first they have to draw sketch, and then they use a projector, and then they paint it on a wall or in the hospital or school.
Okay, so they make their sketch, and what is the projector used for?
A projector is used for is like something it's like a movie that paused, and it's like one of the projector.
Yeah, if you look at the one that we have on the smartboard, it projects onto the wall. So it projects a picture onto the wall. Why is that helpful for a muralist?
Because if they want to if something that fits like real, like these pictures are real,
Mm-hmm.
they could just put it on those pages, and then you can pause it and you can give it to other people that they might use it.
Okay.
So a projector comes in handy because they can trace it.
Yeah, so whatever they project, they can trace. And then once they've traced it, what's their next step?
But then the step is to
Okay.
paint it and
So you agree with Crystal? Very good. So do you agree or disagree that a muralist's artwork is actually art? Would you call it art or not?
No, because the muralist is someone who paints on a wall.
Okay.
Yes, because if you go on page 2, it says, did you know that a person who paints is an artist? So that means that they're an artist because they paint that wall.
My opinion is that a muralist painting is a painting because they could be the same thing as an artist, like this man was drawing and planning a thing to make like that picture like right here, and maybe he made it. My opinion is that they are artists because they always have to make a sketch before they paint it, and then they put it up on the building, and then they make a choose or something,
Okay.
and then they paint on top of it, and it's the same thing as a costume designer and a face painter.
Very good. So what can you infer about the type of tools that a muralist would have to use?
Murals would have to use like a certain kind of material, because like if they paint on walls like bumpy and rough.
Okay, so they would have to do something with the texture of the wall?
They might
Okay.
sand it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, me too. But when you
Okay.
paint something, it's a
What other type of tools might they use? We know that they use a projector. What might they use when they're tracing, when they use tracing paper? Paint, pencils.
Because all the artists who paint and know what spots, because if there's what spots, that means that you're not practicing or something.
Okay.
They use markers because right here I can see a marker
Okay.
and Sharpies.
What do you think that guy is doing there?
He's private.
And what told you that that's what he was up to?
Like the picture because I could see him. I could see him drawing.
Good. And what text feature tells us about that picture?
The picture caption.
The picture caption. Good. Look at the graphic feature on page 12. Did you guys know that that was a projector?
Mm-hmm.
You did know right away? And if you didn't know, and if you had questions, what could you do to figure out what it was?
The picture caption.
The picture caption. Very nice
I
job.
didn't know that. I never saw him before.
You've never seen one before? So was the picture caption helpful for you? Definitely. It was helpful for me too. Okay. So on page 14, what is the main idea that you think the author is wanting you to take away? Share with your partner and explain how you know.
If you could probably you could be an artist, just
that you could
there's artists everywhere. You can also be
Right? What makes you think that, Abby?
because if you paint, you can also be an artist.
Good. And did the author say anything that helps you make that inference? What did it say?
Artist says did you know that the artist could do it everywhere? So I built a book before. It was pretty fun.
Okay, good. 3, 2, and 1. What can you infer the main idea is on page 14? And
The
how do you
minute
know?
on page 14 is about an artist.
Okay. It could be about artists. Anything else? What does the author want us to learn? You guys can have your talking chips
My
there.
opinion is that the author wants us to learn is that anywhere it says an artist can be anywhere and an artist can be anywhere and everywhere you look.
Yeah, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
Because we're all artists because we always draw on a piece of paper. We always make like a painting and we always paint on a big piece of paper.
Okay.
I think it's telling us that. My opinion is that it's probably telling us that everyone can be an artist only if you look inside you.
Oh, very nice, Abby. Okay, what I want you to do right now is go back to page 2. Okay. And if we take a look very quickly, let's just take a look at all of the headings. We have what is an artist, costume designer, architect, display artist, face painter, and muralist. I want you to prioritize, so I want you to decide if you were the author, how would you have put these in order? Would you have kept this order? Or would you have changed them and put, maybe you would decide to put what is an artist first, and then architect, and then maybe you put face painter. So would you have changed the order of these sections, or would you keep them exactly the same, and why? Share with your partner.
The same because I like it. Actually, I would put this first, this second, this third.
So Abby, can you, when you say this, can you tell me specifically?
I'll change it like this. Keep
I want to
here.
put this face painter second,
And a
display artist third,
a costume designer and then
costume designer
face painter and then display artist and then
what is an artist last?
and
Why?
Because
Face painter last.
actually I would keep this first because I think because that's like most of the topics in it.
Very good.
And then display artist second.
3, 2, and 1. What would you do? Would you keep the order the same or change it?
what I would do is I would put like I'll keep what is an artist right there and then I would put architect, then I would put display artist, then I would put a costume designer, then a face painter, and last
Okay. What made you decide, Angel, to start with what is an artist, and then to put architect next? Why did you choose that?
Because what is an artist tells us it tells us what's an artist, and then over here an architect it's kind of like an artist, and then like what made me think like to put the costume design, that, and then the display artist, and then I would put like a costume designer, and then a face painter, because the costume designer is kind of the same as the face painter, because they did.
So maybe you would have grouped those together? Okay.
How I will put it is that I'll put what is an artist, and then I will put a face painter, and then I will put the artist, and then I'll put the costume designer, and I'll put the architect.
Why would you decide to put the architect last?
Because it's telling us how to build stuff and to sketches, and this one has more sketches than the other pages we have.
Okay, so you would make that one be last then. Very good. The last thing I want you to do today is I want you to rate the text and graphic features in this book. So I want you to think about all of them together and give them a 1 if you think they were not very helpful this week, a 2 if they were kind of helpful, or a 3 if you thought they were extremely helpful in helping you learn about all of these different types of artists. Share with your partner and explain why.
Because it's most helpful because
I would give
gives me a lot of
3.
So Abby, if you think about the whole book, what would you give it?
Because I didn't know
because they were really helpful for artists.
Okay. 3, 2, and 1. How would you rate all the text features in the whole book?
How I would rate them is a 3 because they really helped me when I was reading.
Okay.
My opinion is I would give them a 3 because they tell us about different kind of artists that are around us. Like we can learn about museum artists and
Good.
about costume designers.
So were those text features really helpful for you this week to learn? Good. What was the most helpful? Pick one page, please, in the book and tell your partner what was the most helpful text feature for you and why.
picture caption, because I didn't know what that was. I thought it was just like a camera.
I'm going to say picture caption because I wanted to learn about the picture too.
It tells us what the picture is going to be about and what the word is going to be about of the face painter. Mine is a display artist.
And how the highlighted words because that told me that I should know that
There's a
word.
picture and I did a lot.
Good, Abby. Good connection. 3, 2, and 1. Angel, could you share yours for me, please? What was your most helpful?
Picture caption, because I didn't know that was like a projector. I thought it was just like a camera.
Very nice job. All right. Did we do our job today? And did we talk about text and graphic features? Yes, we did. And did we evaluate them and analyze them and decide which were helpful and which ones maybe weren't so helpful? Yeah, we did. And then we talked about specifically which was the most helpful for us. Very nice job this week. I'm very proud of you.